She's Come Undone by Wally Lamb. I've read this book, and it took me quite a while. It fell apart. There's pieces missing. You may see this book on the shelves of your local used bookstore. I would not recommend, I was going to say regret, because that's what I do. I would not recommend buying this book. That's why there's so many copies on the shelf at your local used bookstore. This is not exactly the greatest book. So I'm reading the book, and there's this girl in it. And at the end of the book, I'm like, was I reading a story about the same woman? Because honestly, this sounds like multiple people in this book. She was a whack job through the whole thing, but I thought that the character just changed so immensely that there were like more than one character in the book. Like the writing, I just thought didn't keep a cohesive flow of her craziness. Anyways, let's see what it says. Meet Dolores Price. She's 13, wise-mouthed but wounded, having bid her childhood goodbye. Beached like a whale in front of her bedroom TV, she spends the next few years nourishing herself with Malamars, potato chips, and Pepsi that her mother supplies. When she finally rolls into young womanhood at 257 pounds, Dolores is no stronger and life is no kinder. But this time she's determined to rise to the occasion and give herself one more chance before really going belly up. In his extraordinary coming-of-age odyssey, Wally Lamb invites us to hitch a wild ride on a journey of love, pain, and renewal with the most heartbreakingly comical heroine to come along in years. This book was never funny. There was no humor in this book. At once a fragile girl and a hard-edged cynic, so tough to love, yet so inimitably lovable, Doris is as poignantly real as our own imperfections. Most people aren't as nutso as her. She's Come Undone and includes a promise. You will never forget Dolores Price. As much as you want to. Sorry to be so cynical, but I did not like this book. Oh yeah, so the reason I read this book is because at the top it said, an ambitious, often stirring, and hilarious book. Was this book hilarious? If hilarious, and you look it up in the thesaurus and it says horrible, not good, boring, slow, craziness, it was not funny once. Sorry, Wally Lamb. So in this book, so much stuff happens. She gets raped by like a neighbor in front of a whole bunch of dogs. Weird. She goes to the beach at one point, and there's like a dead whale on the beach that she went there specifically to see, and she like tries to kill herself, but she like says hi to the whale. She does the nasty with another woman, and then decides to kill that woman's fish in her fish tanks, and that she's not a lesbian. In college, her roommates hated her, and she would steal the letters from her roommate's boyfriend. In one of the pictures, in one of the letters, there was a nude picture of the boyfriend, and she kept it forever, and then she ended up writing to the boyfriend, pretending to be the roommate, and she, like, fell in love with him through these letters that were not to her. And years later, she found out where this guy was, and she went and she stalked him, found him, fell in love with him, and they got married. Which didn't work out, by the way. Her mom gets hit. Is that in this book? Am I thinking of another book? I don't even know anymore. Okay, so her dad, I believe, is like a gardener, sort of. handyman guy to, like, this rich lady who, like, she thinks he's having a fling with, but in the end, the dad, like, takes off with somebody young, and then her mom gets hit and killed by a truck because she was working as a toll booth person. All this stuff, to me, not hilarious, not funny stuff. Being screwed up in the head because your dad left, your mom died, you get raped, whatever, not funny. Not funny being the fat girl and being made fun of either, because that happened to her quite a bit as well. So the moral of this rant is that I usually don't do a book review saying that a book sucked, because usually if it is bad, I just don't finish reading it and I toss it. I ended up finishing this book. I don't know why. This took forever to get through. Oh my gosh. And I disliked it a lot. And it fell apart even. And I'm going to throw it away now because I don't want to give that book to anybody else to read. I'm sorry, Wally Lamb. And I'm sorry for fans of Wally Lamb. I apologize. This is just my personal opinion. Don't read that book. Save your brain. Read something else. See ya.